Hello, gamers. My name is the Epic Big Dicked Gamer, and today we will be ranking the Persona 5 Confidants. And of course, as always, I'll be joined by my friend Plasma, who loves this game pretty much about as much as I do.
Probably more.
I mean, yeah, you're honestly more obsessed than I am.
Yeah.
I mean, Persona 5 is my favorite video game, so...
I can confirm that that Big Dick nickname is very much true. Don't worry,
I mean, you can confirm.
Yeah.
Let me zoom in. Alright, I'm gonna actually zoom out the tier list a little bit. There we go. Now it looks sexual.
Yes, sir!
So the first confidant we're going over is Igor.
Should probably explain how we have two tier lists, right?
Yeah, the first tier list is for the confidant story-wise, and the second one is for their confidant abilities. So how useful advancing their confidant is for gameplay. I'm more of a story guy, so if the story's good, then I'll advance the confidant regardless of how mid the rewards are, but...
Yeah.
Unless they're like Hifumi or fucking Kawakami who are just broken.
Yeah.
Or Mishima.
We'll get to this later.
Yeah, and then, what is it? Something. Oh, yeah, right. So we're judging these based off of the confidant storylines, as opposed to the characters themselves. If you want more of, like, a character itself breakdown, we have a Phantom Thief tier list, detailing the party members and how they function in the main story. The confidant and the main stories are very different from each other, in terms of, like, their quality. There are some characters who are amazing in the main story, but have mid-ass confidants, so... that's why the confidant ranking is based off of the confidant storyline itself and not the characters themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, with all that, we can get on to Igor.
Yes. I mean, he's Igor. He's got a massive nose.
Mm-hmm.
And not much hair.
Yeah, he be collecting a new harem every game.
Yeah.
Decided to become a lolicon in P5. So yeah, this is Igor for you, the greatest character of all time.
Yeah.
The fact that Igor is a confidant in this game is genuinely pretty cool compared to other games where he's not a social link.
Yeah. I mean, he's cool. I mean, we don't see like too much of. I mean, his confidant just progresses with the story.
Mm-hmm. It never feels like
it's kind of weird to rank him.
It's very much more of like a gameplay-focused ranking, because you never feel like your bond with Igor is actually going stronger. But of course, that plot twist involving him is very well executed. And,
of course, yeah.
The fact that it is such a well-executed twist kind of saves this confidant for me.
Mm-hmm.
Still, though, it's definitely kind of a mid-tier confidant. Story-wise, I think I'd put it C-tier.
Yeah, I can agree with you on that.
Don't get me wrong, as a palace ruler, absolutely amazing, since Igor turns out to be Yaldabaoth possessing Igor. That's the plot twist, guys. But as a confidant itself, because they aren't trying to give away the twist, it means that the interesting aspects of Yaldabaoth, I suppose, are kind of concealed until the last minute.
Yeah. So we don't really see much of actual Igor, so...
Mm-hmm.
His entire thing's kind of just add that plot twist. So.
It makes this one of the weakest confidants in the game.
Yeah.
There is no bad confidants, though. There's only one D tier, but we'll get to that one later.
Yes.
I think there's only one D tier in both tier lists, and it's the same fucking character.
Probably. Yeah. Anyway, in terms of the perks, I mean, Third Eye is incredible.
Yeah, the fact that Third Eye is such a good feature that every single time I play Persona 3 and Persona 4 now, I'm like, damn, it feels so weird without the Third Eye.
Yeah, Third Eye is fucking stupid. More Personas is fueling Joker's brokenness even more.
Mm-hmm.
And Arcana Burst is also really, really good because it can give you Persona's of a way higher level than it really should be.
And like most of Igor's perks are basic gameplay functionality stuff. Like you'd be given more Persona slots without a Confidant in prior Persona games, but it's still an incredibly useful perk to have.
Yeah. Also, technically, the negotiation thing is part of his Confidant at rank 1, but it doesn't really count. It's obviously, but it doesn't really count, really. I mean, I guess you could consider it part of it, but...
I guess without Igor, there's pretty much no point in, like, Yoshida.
Yeah, so I feel like it's a bit unfair to put him anywhere other than S tier.
Yeah. I mean, just like the basic
functionality. The third eye and increased Persona stock alone would put him in S tier, and then he's got other stuff to him as well. So.
Then Arcana Burst at rank 10 is amazing too.
Yes.
So then next up is Morgana. We covered Morgana in the party member tier list, so...
Yeah, and again, his Confidant progresses with the story, so it's hard to really rank his Confidant.
We put him in C tier last time. Will we put him Should we put him above Igor? I think his story is more involved than Igor, so I'd put him above.
Yeah.
Still a C tier though. It would be B tier
now we have our first
the Akumura stuff, but
yes, and then we have his perks, which are you have the Phantom Thieves ones where the survive with 1 HP, shield Joker, recovering status, but his main thing is crafting infiltration tools, which is pretty good.
Yeah, it's decent.
If you abuse it well, it can be broken with like the items that do 50 damage of a certain type, I guess. You can stack baton passes really well with it. And then you have most of the other things are just kind of convenient stuff. Most things you get from lockpick locks aren't incredible. And like you can reduce the fucking palace level. But apart from, I mean, there's some good tools, but most of it's like okay.
Yeah, there isn't really like a super broken tool that I found myself crafting a lot. I would craft like every once in a blue moon when I needed more lockpicks.
Yeah, fair enough. Because it's nice to have lockpicks, but it's okay. It can. I think if you use it like perfect, if you use it as much as you can, it can be very good. But I mean, to the average player on like your first playthrough, it's not really too useful.
In terms of party member perks, I think Morgana's probably one of the weakest. But being party member alone, I think gives him like at least B tier, maybe even A tier. Party member perks are really
because I mean, protecting Joker is really good, obviously, because if Joker dies, you're dead. And inflicting, curing status is also really good because status is broken in this game. And surviving fatal attacks is pretty decent, especially when you're Morgana who heals.
And especially when you are as frail as Morgana is.
Yeah.
So like,
and then there's the follow-up as well. The follow-up is decent. You can get a free critical hit. But I mean, it's not. You don't get it that much, and sometimes it's like okay. And then the last one I can see is if negotiation with animal type shadow fails, you can try again, which is kind of useless.
Yeah, I mean, you're rarely failing in a negotiation unless you're just straight up not trying.
Yeah. Honestly, most of the Phantom Thieves, apart from their battle abilities, they kind of have shit perks.
Unless you're Ryuji.
Yeah, I was about to say. So yeah, I think there's some good abilities. I think B tier.
I think I'd say B tier.
I think B tier is good because they're not. Obviously, you get a lot of abilities. That's good. So I think it's good to put in B tier.
And then Makoto. Makoto's an amazingly written party member, but her Confidant, in my opinion, is probably the weakest. I think it's pretty easily the weakest of the party member Confidants.
Yeah, I feel like it's just kind of her trying not to be an NPC.
Like,
it's like
there's some
okay.
genuinely really good ranks in here too. Like when she's explaining like her
Yeah.
backstory and her background, her motivation, stuff like that. That shit's good. It's a natural evolution of her character arc. But the stuff with like the girl dating the other guy, it's fucking boring.
Yeah, I feel like it didn't really focus on her, and like obviously it helped progress her like arc and stuff, but it was like a bit boring because obviously there wasn't much to happen. Like
Yeah,
it was kind of weak.
I agree. I would say C tier.
Yeah, especially if you consider the fact that this girl had like nothing to do with Makoto before
Mm-hmm.
the Confidant started. She had literally nothing to do with them, so that was
Yeah.
there's no reason. It was
I think it's
random.
better than the Igor Confidant.
He's
But
better than Igor, yeah.
I actually like it less than Morgana's.
Fair enough.
It's a bit of a close call though. Makoto's Confidant has much higher peaks than Morgana's, but Morgana's, in my opinion, is more overall consistent in its quality.
Yeah.
Minus Okumura.
Well, yeah, we know that.
Yeah, I mean, every single time I say anything positive about Morgana, I had to preface it
It's
with minus
yeah,
Okumura.
except for Okumura. Don't worry, you know.
We
got
know
that.
how shit the Okumura arc is, don't worry.
Yep.
And then Makoto's perks. I don't remember what her non-party member stuff is.
Huh? Who?
Makoto? In terms of
Let
perks?
me check for you. It is negotiation with martial arts. Shadow fails. You can try again. Oh, you can. It helps. You can see what attacks will be nullified, repelled, and drained
That's
from
actually
like
pretty
a target,
important.
which is really good.
Yeah.
And you can also see potential item drops and skills of other shadows, which is also really good.
Yeah, like those perks
then-
wouldn't be as good in like P3, P4, but P5 has like 15 billion different
Yeah.
elemental effects to worry about.
Yeah.
So
Obviously, you do have to. I think you have to find out. Like you have to use a move that's nullified, but every other time you fight them again, it will tell you, including New Game Plus, which is really nice. So I think it's really good, and then literally everything else is just
Party member.
It seems to be just the regular party member stuff.
I'd say A tier, honestly.
I agree.
And then Haru. Oh my god! Finally a good Confidant story-wise. What?
Yes, sir.
I
Haru's good.
Haru's Confidant's really good.
Yeah.
My one nitpick is that she doesn't grieve over her dad's death enough. Like it should be focused on her grief a little bit more than it actually is, I feel. However,
Yeah.
what they do with the story is really good. Because it's a very natural evolution of what happened. She has to manage the company of her dad since her dad passed, and understandably so, she can't trust anyone since the company is a black company with a lot of shady shit going on. So the story sees Haru slowly trusting the man that wants to help her out, and her being able to stand up for herself against her fiance who she doesn't want to be with.
Yeah.
I will say too, I rejected a lot of girls in my playthrough. The only rejection that genuinely hurt was Haru's. Haru's the only character where after a rejection, she seems like visibly kind of devastated by it.
Yeah. That was kind of sad.
I
think I remember
second
still my
playthrough, too.
third playthrough, because I'm on my fourth now.
Yeah.
And I did last playthrough of Romance Time. The romance was good, actually.
The romance for
I
Haru
think
was genuinely great. That was when I
Makoto's
did
was
my first
alright. I
playthrough.
forgot to mention that. I did romance Makoto. She was alright. There's nothing incredible, but Haru's is good.
Yeah, because like with Haru's romance route is one of the best in my opinion. Because like it actually feels like Haru's falling for you.
Yeah.
Like there's an actual relationship there.
Mm-hmm.
Because like you're because like you're being like genuinely actively helpful for something that's extremely important to her instead of like some trivial bullshit. Which makes Haru's Confidant a lot better in my opinion. I really like this one. I don't like it quite enough to make it S tier, but it's somewhere around the B or A tier range for me.
I'll say B. I think
Yeah.
he's good.
My first playthrough, I really was dick riding this Confidant, but I mean the main thing that holds Haru back, Confidant-wise, is just the fact that in the main story she's handled so fucking poorly.
Yeah.
Which means that I feel like at best her Confidant speed here.
Yeah, her Confidant's very much affected by her lack of very poor treatment in the main story.
If she was treated better in the main story, this Confidant, without changing anything, would be A tier.
Yeah, I mean, I think we did say we wouldn't discuss main story, but because the main story does affect her confidence so much, it ends up weakening the confidence a lot.
Yeah, I agree.
In terms of perks, I'd say C tier because she gets the party member stuff, and then her exclusive thing is fucking vegetables, and they're kind of useless. They waste time. You have to spend a shit ton of time getting the vegetables, and you can just get items in many other ways.
The party member perks are good enough though to maybe
SP restoring's nice.
But you can just get Kawakami to make stuff for you.
Exactly, and I put her in C tier instead of B tier because the way I saw it was Makoto has party member perks, and very nice other perks, A tier. Morgana has party member perks and alright other perks, B tier, and then Haru's is just a waste of time. So I think
the fact that Haru's benefit actively harms you in a playthrough, I think C tier.
Because you really don't get a lot of time. It's hard to waste that time on, planting fucking vegetables.
Yeah. And then Yusuke, first Confidant, I can say with confidence, absolutely amazing Confidant.
Yes.
Just super good, well-written shit. It is such a natural evolution of his main story.
I love Yusuke.
Yeah, Yusuke is such a good character. Seeing him go through that artist slump and trying to get out of that, trying to process his trauma from Madarame as well is really well-written stuff. And I love how personally he takes criticism to his art. That is very relatable.
Yeah. I mean, I remember seeing him when that one guy, the old geezer, he started dissing his art. You're like, what the fuck? You initially think, he initially thought, what the fuck is that for? But then he slowly begins to realize that, his art was kind of lacking somewhere, and he tried very hard to improve it, and he did in the end. And I think it's fucking amazing. Instead of just saying, this guy's evil, we don't like him because he doesn't like Yusuke's art. It makes sense. And it gives him a very easy way to improve his art by a lot and develop even more.
Yeah, and my favorite part about Yusuke too is that he says, I don't want to be sold and commodified as an artist.
Yes.
I want to be able to create things for the sake of my own passion and just to make people happy, which that's, in my opinion, the best way to go about art.
Yes. Very nice.
So just
we love Yusuke.
Yusuke is one of the more relatable characters for me, since I'm also a creative. So I can identify with his Confidant a lot more as well, along with just his general quirkiness. Which, this is one of the funniest Confidants in the game.
Oh, for sure.
Actually, this is just straight up the funniest Confidant in the game.
Yeah, because it's fucking Yusuke, of course it is.
Yeah, because Yusuke is the funniest character in the game.
Exactly.
Because I don't love the comedy in this game. There are scenes like the Ryuji all-out attack in Shido's palace that are actively unfunny, but
yeah,
so this game's sense of humor is very hit and miss. But Yusuke always in land, always a fucking land.
He lands like I can't land my airplane.
I kind of. Oh, we love ourselves a 9/11 joke here. Yeah, I wasn't expecting to consider S tier for Yusuke, but I think he's an S tier.
I agree. He's S tier.
Like, this is a point where like his confidant's honestly better than his main story stuff. Because we put him A tier in the main story ranking.
Yeah.
And then
now, in terms of perks, his main thing is duplicating, creating skill cards. Now, I'm not gonna lie, this is really good.
Yeah.
Some skill cards are an absolute bitch to get. Like, I'm pretty sure some of them require, like, specific fusion failures. Sorry, not fusion. Electric chair failures, stuff like that on certain days. And, yeah, it's really, really good. Being able to... Some of these fucking annoying fusion alarm skill cards are really annoying to get. And Yusuke makes it so you only have to get one, you duplicate it once, and then he can just create it whenever he wants.
Yeah, and the fact that you can do the skill cards in the metaverse too means that you don't have to waste time to do it.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it's A tier personally.
Yeah.
Below Makoto, but A tier.
Like I didn't end up using it too much because the game is easy enough to where you can just kind of ignore skill cards. However, if you're more of a try-hard, I want to min-max everything, Yusuke's confidant's insanely good.
Yeah. I plan to use him a lot to get all my... I'm trying to get all my personas to level 99, and he's going to help.
Yeah,
duplicating growth skill
that's going to help.
Yeah.
So then, next up is Sojiro S tier, best confidant in the game.
Yeah.
By far the best confidant in the game.
Easy. This is the freest S tier.
I am genuine. I kind of want to make an S+ tier because he's that goated, but I'm gonna refrain.
He is literally the GOAT.
Yeah, literally the best confidant in this game. Honestly, I think his confidant might just be the best part of this game in general. Now, there's some main story stuff that I prefer, but
there's some main story stuff that's better. Yeah. But out of all the confidants, he clears everyone.
By far the best confidant in the game. It's not even a competition.
Sojiro to the other confidants is like Joker to everyone in battle.
Yeah.
That's the best way to put it. Sojiro's confidant is fucking incredible.
Yeah, like because not only is it a story of you slowly bonding with Sojiro, because Sojiro starts the game extremely cold to you. He's like
a bit of a cunt, I'm not gonna lie, he's a bit of a cunt.
Yeah, he's like, oh man, why did I take in someone for probation? I'm such a fucking dumbass.
Yeah. Just don't do it. You can't leave the house at night. And then like a couple weeks later, he's like, okay, you can go up 2 streets. You better be fucking grateful, you cunt. And then after he's like, okay, do whatever the fuck you want.
And then, of course, along with it being you bonding with Sojiro, getting that trust with Sojiro, which makes the main story stuff way better, by the way, if you're able to finish that confidant, like, before Sai's Palace.
Agree.
And then, of course, it's also about Futaba. Futaba's also one of the best characters in this game. And Sojiro being able to repair that bond with Futaba, because Futaba loves Sojiro. Futaba sees Sojiro as her father, but Sojiro feels unworthy of that due to the fact that Futaba was a shut-in. He feels like if he was a better father, she wouldn't have gotten into such a slump. But the story slowly sees Sojiro realize that he is Futaba's father, and that's what gives Futaba and Joker the resolve to help him out in terms of getting him custody over Futaba. It's such a fucking touching story. Every rank just had me just at the edge of my seat.
I think this brother, he's so nice. Like,
I wouldn't even say nice. He's just kind, a genuinely kind individual.
He's so kind, and the way he the way he progresses throughout his Confidant is fucking. I love seeing it every single time because he goes from being very cold to you to genuinely kind of seeing you as like a son, and to the point where in Maruki's palace, he asks if you want to stay with him, in his ideal world. He asked Joker to stay, and live with him permanently, and it at the start of the game he would have never done that, but throughout his Confidant he becomes a lot warmer, a lot kind. He was already kind with everything happening with Futaba, we know that, but
right, there's a reason why he took in Joker to begin with, even if he doesn't think about it.
Yeah.
Because, like, even despite the fact that he's constantly complaining about housing a criminal, he did it for a reason. He didn't want Joker to be out on his own without anyone to rely on.
Yeah, and one thing that I did see was the deadline. If you don't defeat the palace by a deadline, various different things happen, and you can see his reaction change as you go through the story. At first, he's like, "You just had to screw everything up, didn't you?" Oh, and then as you go on, he becomes genuinely sad when stuff happens, and I fucking love seeing it.
Yeah, and like I didn't watch those cutscenes until yesterday, actually. Because like I didn't even think that the game would have cutscenes for that stuff, you know.
Yeah.
But it does, and it's such a good touch. Not only because like, it gives you a bad ending for failing to do a palace in time, but also because again, it does such a good job at showing off Sojiro's character. Sojiro's main story stuff and his Confidant stuff are so linked that you gotta do the Confidant, no matter what. Just to make the main story as engaging as it is, Sojiro's Confidant really adds to it. Just easily the best Confidant in the game. I'd honestly argue it's the best social link in any Persona game.
I haven't played enough Persona games to say that, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. Like, the only ones I think could even really compare are like Dojima and Nanako and P4, but that's kind of it.
Fair enough.
And then, gameplay
unfortunately, I mean, he kind of does fuck all.
In Royal, you're already given a shitload of SP restoring items as soon as you start the game. Therefore, LeBlanc Coffee and LeBlanc Curry are not very good. They're good very late game, but by that point, like...
Kawakami exists.
Like...
And she can make Master Curry without you having to progress his Confidant.
Wait, you don't even need to progress the Confidant for it?
No, she's just able to make Master Curry from the start, I'm pretty sure.
Holy shit, so Sojiro's useless.
Yeah.
Like, actually useless.
Yeah. he's kind of dog shit. I'm not gonna lie.
These tier lists look completely different. I thought we'd only be putting Ouya in D tier. What the fuck is Sojiro doing here? It is a tragic day for all of us.
Yep.
Anyway, we got On's Confidant next. On's Confidant, I have very mixed feelings on it. Like, half of it is really good stuff, the other half of it is like boring modeling shit.
Yes.
So, I like it a lot more than Makoto's Confidant, but I might honestly also put it in C tier.
I agree.
The first half of the Confidant is really good. Then the second half, it just kind of becomes kind of a big blob of nothing.
She feels very. A lot of the time, she feels very empty. Kind of like. She don't feel. She feels a bit empty and boring. I don't know. It feels just Yeah, it's kind of boring to
And like, what the thing that
watch.
bothers me is the most, you never go to the hospital with On. You never get to see
Yeah.
Shiho, and that's something that bothers the fuck out of me. Because it's like, the Confidant is at its best when On is talking about Shiho and her recovery. Well, actually, that's where it's at its second best. The best parts are actually where On like just talks more about her general character, because I feel like On's like base character traits aren't explained super well in the main story. It's mostly the Confidant that has to flesh those out.
Yeah.
And like On as a character is genuinely pretty charming. She's likable.
Yeah.
And yet the story that's given to her is less interesting. And then again, the fact that you never see Shiho until rank 10, like why?
What? And then she just kind of like, she kind of just goes to the roof. And that's it.
Like Shiho's only real dialogue is, I wanted to go up here again, so that way I can face my fear, stuff like that. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it's good stuff, but I honestly feel like it could have been better. It could have been more satisfying if we were to actually fucking see her.
Yeah. Shiho should have been a confidant.
Shiho should have been a confidant. Fucking, I don't know, make her like the Tower Arcana.
The problem is...
shit about Shinya.
She jumped off a building, so she's Tower Confidant.
Sure.
So, the thing is, with Shiho, On's Confidant could have been better, but the problem is, it feels like they tried to squeeze a Shiho Confidant into On's Confidant. So, On kind of doesn't really get a lot of time for herself. If Shiho had her own confidant, and then On could focus on herself, and then instead of just talking about Shiho without ever seeing her, she could have been a lot better, but she isn't.
Like, I think her confidant is C tier. I actually kind of.
Yes. I agree.
And
then we got...
I'm getting text messages from the hospital. I don't need to go quite yet, but my mom's surgery has started, so good for her.
Good luck.
Yeah, I hope it goes well.
And then we have...
And then
perks, right?
Yeah, in terms of perks, I don't remember what...
So what she does is, if a negotiation with female shadow fails, you can try again. And then she can cancel an enemy's action very rarely, which is okay. And then Crocodile Tears is forcing enemies to ask less during negotiations. So, like, you know when they steal your teammate? That happened like once throughout the entire game. Yeah, she can make you ask for... Instead of 500 yen, they want 200. It's useless.
Yeah, that is pretty bad. Because, like, I only have that happen, like, twice a playthrough. I've heard people who've had it have happened 0 times a playthrough. For some reason, it always happens to me in Madarame's Palace, of all places.
The thing is, yeah, the only time it happens is if you're shit at the game. Like, I'm sorry, there shouldn't be any reason it happens, so that perk ends up being kind of useless. Yeah. Also, it's not like it's guaranteed that they ask less, it's just a chance. So, even if it does happen once through a playthrough, it might not even happen. You might not even get the less, it might not even work. And then you have the other party member shit. So, she kind of has one original good perk, which is grabbing the enemy's attention and cancelling the action, which can be alright, but...
Yeah. I think like a low B tier, I guess.
Low B tier, yeah.
Because like party member perks alone make her useful. And then Ryuji, in my opinion, one of the best confidants in this game, for sure.
Yes. I love Ryuji.
It's such a natural evolution of a story arc.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, I love Ryuji's confidant. Yeah, so like, I had to explain the main story stuff just to get the general gist, but like, Kamoshida broke his leg, he beat the fuck out of Kamoshida, track team hates him for it, so Ryuji's arc is just about getting himself, into better shape, helping out and then reassembling the track team. Essentially writing a big twit longer about Kamoshida's lackey, which is still in the school.
Yeah.
It's good shit. It's a very simple storyline. There's not that much to explain to it. However, it's really good. You get to see Ryuji's backstory, which is a huge part of making him more sympathetic as well. And then of course Ryuji himself is an amazing character. It's an extremely simple, to-the-point story without too much to explain or any themes that are too deep, and yet I still give it S tier because it's just so well executed.
Yeah, man, Ryuji's amazing.
Below or above Yusuke?
I'd say below.
Yeah, I'd say so too.
I think Yusuke's still better.
I have more fun with Ryuji's Confidant than Yusuke's, but Yusuke's is overall better written. Alright, so I'm gonna have to pretend to be entertaining for a little bit. Let me just scroll through my Discord. Ah yes, King Gambit is indeed the best fairy type. They should just ban that fucking thing. Music feels kind of quiet, yet at the same time, I know how fucking loud it can be sometimes. So I'm trying to make the music quieter for the sake of my viewers. So I don't know. I gotta find something to ramble about. Your mom. Yeah, your mom. She's a pretty nice person, you know. So make sure to love your mom. Fuck, man, it's hard to come up with like random bullshit to talk about. The stormy weather's cut you through. Oh man, Last Surprise is a bop. Every song in Persona is a bop. Just an amazing series when it comes to music, just all around. Holy shit.
Sorry, I'm back.
All right, so
okay, where were we?
So perk-wise, I think Ryuji's S tier.
Yes, insta-kill is S tier.
Insta-kill alone is S tier. Like,
fuck it. It helps with getting money. It helps with leveling up. It's mainly mementos and stuff.
Yeah, like Ryuji is the reason why mementos is as convenient as it is in Royal.
Yeah.
In vanilla, Ryuji sucked because insta-kill didn't give you anything.
Bruh.
But in Royal, Ryuji is by far the best party member Confidant, and it's not even close.
If you're a sweat, then Ryuji is mandatory. Because if you want to get all your personas to 99, you kind of need Ryuji, because the good thing about insta-kill is you get the persona. You get a persona out of each insta-kill. So you can do fusion alarm stuff with that, which is pretty much the only way you're ever really going to get level 99 in a convenient amount of time. Yeah. Unless you're going to take about 6 years per persona. And then also, being less likely to be found while dashing in the metaverse is really good as well.
It's a very good
on top of the party member perks already, which makes Ryuji instantly S tier.
Yeah. And then we got Akechi next. I feel like Akechi is much better in the main story than his Confidant is, but his Confidant got completely reworked for Royal. In vanilla, Akechi's Confidant was honestly kind of mid, because that didn't prevent me from loving Akechi. He's still one of my favorite characters, but the fact that this Confidant was automatic kind of prevented you from feeling like you actually had a bond with Akechi. So the Confidant helps that out. But I'm gonna be honest, most of the Confidant ranks are kind of underwhelming. I was underwhelmed by the Confidant. However, rank 6 and rank 8 are fucking amazing.
Yeah. Also, I mean, technically you can include the stuff in Shido's palace, because you're
that's more main story stuff. If we include those two,
it's more main story
here for sure. But
yeah, but I feel like it's technically your Confidant rank does go up by 2 in there, but it's not really it's not strictly your Confidant, so
yeah,
I wouldn't count that. Overall, it's okay.
Yeah,
it's decent.
I would put it A tier. It has enough good peaks going for it to put it A tier, in my opinion.
Yeah, because it's never bad.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got some very nice peaks. Scrapping him in Mementos is very nice.
Yeah, like rank 8 is amazing. It's such a cool feature that Royal added.
And yeah.
And then
in terms of in battle, he doesn't get much. He gets so he had a chance to reveal all of an enemy's affinities. So what they're weak against, what they're strong against, which is alright. And then he's just got the party member stuff. So it can be alright. But
kind of like a better Makoto, I guess.
The problem is, the thing is, the party member perks, you never use them. Because shielding Joker from a fatal attack and withstanding so shielding yourself from Joker, you only get that when you get to Maruki's Palace. You don't use that in Sai's Palace. And you can do the curing status ailments in Sai's Palace, but it doesn't end up being as good as some of your other party members because you don't really get to use it much. So it's okay, but I think its first couple perks can be really nice, but I think the chances are very low. There's nothing guaranteed, which is annoying. So I put it in B tier, at the top of B tier.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Because its party member perks aren't enough to really standardize their B tier because you don't use it enough. Yeah. But his other perks are pretty decent.
Then moving on to Futaba. Futaba's Confidant. I actually wasn't able to finish it on my first playthrough because I played complete shit on my first playthrough because Persona 5 was my first Persona game. But and on the second playthrough, I loved this Confidant. It was so good. Like, not only is it one of the funnier Confidants because Futaba has such a sharp tongue.
Yep, calling Mishima an NPC.
That is one of the funniest fucking moments in the entire game.
Yeah.
And then so not only that, but Futaba, there's a very natural evolution of her main story stuff. Seeing Futaba get out of their shell, touch some grass, become a member of society
touch some grass and eat some ass.
Yeah, like she getting through her checklist of becoming a normal member of society. It's so much fun. This is one of my personal favorite confidants in the game. Like, I would personally say that this is an S tier, but I do wonder what you think.
I'm trying to think, because right now, I put her at the top of, like, the very top of A2.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say S. Actually, I'm trying to think. I think we can put it at the bottom of S tier for now.
Yeah, I think that's good.
But I think if S tier becomes too crowded...
If S tier becomes too crowded, we can drop her.
Yeah. But her
like,
confidence
this is a very bottom and top heavy tier list of very little in between. That's generally how this is gonna go.
Yeah.
So then, gameplay wise, easy S tier. I mean, all of her broken abilities are from the Confidant.
Yeah, and then you even get the fucking bonus of swapping party members with backup members when 2 or more members are KO'd is really nice.
Yeah, that means
shooting a fatal attack. Shooting a fatal attack to nullifying a fatal attack, so doing no damage to any party member is great. And then you can have memento scan, which makes it so you don't have to map through the entirety of a fucking mementos floor, which can be really annoying. It's just like a nice little bonus. Easy S tier. Being one of the only non-item SP restorers in the game, fucking amazing. We don't need to say much more.
Yeah. Alright.
We mainly went over it in the party members.
I think I'm gonna have to start driving soon.
That's fair enough.
Later. Alright, gamers, I'm back. Took me a little bit longer than I thought. Had to deal with quite a lot of personal stuff. But hey, we're back. Again, I mean, you guys already know, because this is gonna be in the same video. I'm recording this as a separate MOV file, but I'm gonna be putting these putting these two together in my editing software, so it's essentially gonna be the same video.
Yep.
Yeah, so this is the again the story tier list and then the benefits tier list.
Yep.
Wait, no. Ah, shit, they got consolidated into the same.
Oh, fuck. Okay, I remember we had Yusuke up at S for...
I actually do remember what we made our tier list look
Yeah.
like. So, it looks like this, right?
Yes.
Alright. Boom.
No, yeah, we did.
Yeah, okay. I have a gaming memory, guys. Now, we didn't fully finish talking about Futaba. Basically, most of Futaba's broken navigation abilities come from her Confidant and not from her level up moveset.
Yes.
And that alone makes her an S tier one, where you pretty much have to max her out to make the game easier for you. Is it? I don't think she's nearly as broken as Insta Kill. Ryuji's just Insta Kill in my mind.
Yeah, Insta Kill does so much.
I mean, Insta Kill is basically just free grinding.
Yeah, I mean,
it makes grinding free, and making grinding free makes the game itself free. So
yeah,
because oh, you think you're gonna be underleveled? Hop into Mementos and spam Insta Kill for 30 minutes.
Precisely.
Persona 5 Royal's so fucking easy.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't play regular.
Yeah, I mean, vanilla lacks a lot of quality of life things.
Yeah.
So even though it's a more difficult game, it's also a far more inconvenient game to play. But yeah, Chihiya's is next. Chihiya's Confidant's pretty good. It's nothing mind-blowing, but it's good.
It's good, yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I'd say it's like low B tier.
I agree. I think the story's pretty nice.
Yeah, like the story works well for Persona 5's themes in particular, because she starts the Confidant by taking advantage of others, but the whole reason why is because she's been taken advantage of and has been told that what she's doing is good when it's not.
Yeah.
And that's what makes her Confidant interesting. It's what separates it from the other ones. I will say though, the first couple of ranks do leave a kind of bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah. They're kind of boring, and
she becomes pretty likable later on. Her story becomes really good later on. Well, that first impression is not good. At least that's how I feel about Chihiya.
I agree. I think I agree with you, yeah. Like, it definitely gets a lot better later on.
I will say, though, it's definitely a nice Confidant. I wasn't able to finish it on my first playthrough, because it's one of the less interesting ones, but I'm glad I finished it on my second one. It's a very good story. I really don't have much to say about it, though. I really don't.
Yeah, there's not much to say. It's just solid.
It's probably, like, the most B-tier Confidant we're going to discuss in this video. And then in terms of gameplay benefits, Chihiya's kind of broken.
S tier.
Yeah, easy S tier.
I'd say behind Ryuji.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, if you're a sweat, you need Chihiya as much as Ryuji, because if you want to really max out your shit, you need fusion alarms, and the celestial reading gives you a fusion alarm every like 2 or 3 battles. So, and that's how you raise your persona stats, is through fusion alarms. So if you want to get good at persona, Chihiya is a requirement. And the other readings are good. Money reading gives you more money. You can deepen a bond with a Confidant as well, which is really nice. And I think genuinely,
every time you want to do a Confidant, talk to Chihiya. Every single time you want to do a social stat, talk to Chihiya. She's broken.
Yeah, it's honestly broken.
I didn't take advantage of it much in my playthrough, but the only reason was because it felt so broken that I kind of felt bad for abusing it.
Yeah, it's kind of, for me it was like kind of like Thingy's stamps, the XP buff. That's fucking busted. I couldn't bring myself to use it.
I used it a lot because I just wanted to make grinding faster.
Fair enough. I thought it was fucking busted.
Yeah, it is. It's extremely busted.
So
Royal made grinding so fucking easy.
Yeah. Yeah, Chihiya's fucking busted. I mean, Chihaya does. Um, she works very, very well with Ryuji. If you want to start grinding, she makes everything so much easier. So yeah, I'd say Chihaya. But obviously, Ryuji is what makes Chihaya so good. So I think Ryuji's still above Chihaya.
Yeah. All right, Lavenza is next, or I guess Justine and Caroline for most of the game, but
Yeah.
I just had made it Lavenza, so it could be one slot.
They give the lockdown group. I mean, guillotine is like busted because the best personas in the game are from the group guillotine. So that's busted.
Yeah.
And then the other ones are okay. I mean, the personas of a higher level sounds very nice in theory, but it's so expensive that most of the time you don't have the money to get something that's actually quite substantial. So it ends up not being as good as you think until you're very, very late in the game to where it doesn't really matter. And then Lockdown's alright, but Lockdown does what Fusion Alarm does, just worse. So it's inconsistent because the Group Guillotine is busted.
Yeah.
The best personas in the game are all from Group Guillotine, pretty much, except for DLCs. That's a different thing. So honestly, it feels like, because the thing is, the Group Guillotine is so good that it feels bottom of A tier at least. But it feels weird putting them at bottom of A tier just because of one perk.
Yeah.
So, I'd say top of B tier.
Okay. I'll take your word on that. I didn't bother with this Confidant because it has like 0 story applications.
Oh yeah, of course. The story doesn't really... I mean, there is kind of a story of like how the fuck they got that list of the personas you give them. But it doesn't really result in much.
Like, in terms of... if you want to count story, you could count the, like the outings with Justine and Caroline, which are,
I didn't really do them, to be honest.
I did like 3 of them in my playthrough because I was like, you know what, this is gonna be better than talking to Ouya, so I may as well.
Fair enough. You're not wrong.
They were fine.
That's fine, yeah.
Justine and Caroline are fine characters. They have, they can be funny. But overall, they don't really make too much of an impression on me. The only Velvet Room attendant I have any like actual opinion on is Elizabeth, because she's like actually really funny.
I so far from the little I've seen, I like Elizabeth, but that's a different topic.
And then like P4 wise, Margaret I have no opinion on. She's pretty boring, and Murray is fine. Yeah, that's all I had to say Velvet Room attendant wise. Most of them are just okay.
I mean, bonus, Lavenza's adorable as fuck because she's like 3 feet tall.
Yes.
Or something. She's like 3 foot tall. Anyway.
Where do
yeah.
Story wise, I think D tier because I just hate the idea.
Yeah.
That,
there's basically no story because in the Confidant line there is some, but the questions that you get from that Confidant line is just answered in the main story. So the Confidant line itself doesn't really add anything to them.
And then UI. I like UI's story a lot.
I like UI story, yeah.
The only nitpick I have with UI is most confidants, you get points by flattering them. The ones where that's not the case are ones that really trip me up. Ranking up UI was a pain in the ass because he doesn't like flattery.
Not fair enough.
Granted, the gameplay applications of trying to rank him up don't overshadow the fact that his story is amazing.
Yeah, it is. I fucking love his story.
Yeah, like it's I love myself a good found family story. I know everyone loves that trope. It's generic as fuck to like that trope so much, but fuck, man.
It's okay, it's good. I don't care.
It's adorable seeing him connect with his son. Because like EY doesn't really feel like he's deserving of his son's love due to his Yakuza past, all the shit that he gets himself into, along with the fact that he's not technically Kaoru's actual father, but even then, Kaoru sees EY as his father because, I mean, it's been that way his entire life. And seeing them connect throughout the story, even though it takes a really long time, I think that honestly adds to the Confidant's charm, the fact that it is such a slow build. It's really well executed.
I mean, it's cool. I mean, guns are cool. I mean, when that one brother pulled out a gun, that was pretty cool. And also, I love how Kaoru immediately, at the start when he first meets you, he thinks you're weird.
Yeah.
And then at the end, he actually really ends up looking up to you with the events that occur.
Yeah, Kaoru sees you as like an older brother, which is fucking cool.
He ends up going to Shujin because of Joker.
Yeah,
or you,
like
I guess.
When it comes to like all the non-Confidant side characters, at the very, very end of the game, Kaoru was the only one I bothered to talk to because I wanted to see where he ended up. Because the Confidant made me care about Kaoru.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, EY's Confidant's great. I'd say it's around A tier.
I agree with it too.
Above or below Akechi?
I'd say above.
Yeah, I can agree with that. And
then
gameplay-wise, gun customization's fucking broken in Royal.
Yeah, gun customization is broken, no matter which way you look at it.
Yeah, I mean, like, most customizations are just kind of whatever, but the status customizations, particularly Shock and Freeze, are insanely busted. Because making everyone a status user in a game where status is broken is insane. Because the thing is, in vanilla, EY is D tier because vanilla guns suck. But in Royal, guns reload after every battle instead of not reloading until you exit the palace, which means that EY turns from a shit Confidant to a genuinely really good Confidant. And of course, the changes to technicals from vanilla to Royal also make EY one of the better ones.
Technicals are busted.
Yeah, technicals didn't exist in vanilla.
Is it?
Yeah.
Here's the thing, EY alone is the reason why hard is harder than merciless, because status guns allow you to farm technicals, and technicals do triple damage on merciless. So it just makes merciless kind of easy, and EY is busted.
Yeah, I wouldn't quite say that EY is S tier necessarily.
I'd say he's very much top of A tier though.
Yeah, definitely top of A tier. His Confidant is crazy too. In vanilla, he's a D tier Confidant for sure, but in Royal, guns and technicals got buffed so fucking hard that it makes EY genuinely really worth it. Yeah. It's so funny too. I'll tell you the things that were in vanilla, and you'll be like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, I know. It feels like fucking primitive. It feels like caveman times back in P5, vanilla P5.
Yeah, I started with vanilla.
You guys had to go to sleep every single moment in the story. You have to be forced to go to sleep by a fucking talking cat.
Yeah, I mean, in vanilla, Morgana's a significantly less likable character than he is in Royal.
Yeah.
And then Takami's next. I really like Takami's Confidant. It's a really good Confidant. This is another Confidant that I feel like is somewhere in like that A tier range, maybe B tier. But it's really good.
I think bottom of A tier personally.
I think that's around where I would put it as well. It's just a really well executed story all around. Yeah.
Her calling you a guinea pig will always make me laugh.
Oh yeah, it's really funny. This is probably one of my favorite Confidants to see live streamers' reactions to. They always have funny things to say about Takami. Because the first impression Takami gives you is very different from the person who Takami ends up being.
Oh, for sure. I mean, you'd never really expect her to be the one helping this child throughout the story. And I love seeing her show her true personality, which is incredibly caring, which isn't what she gives off at first, being called the plague, not really denying it, and just running a quote-unquote shady clinic.
Yeah.
And yeah, also I love her farewell where she says, "Me and Miwa-chan will come and visit you."
Yeah,
because that's really adorable.
I think, isn't she the only character that makes a vow to see you again outside of the Phantom Thieves?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's I mean, it just goes to show how strongly you changed Takumi's life.
Yeah.
I mean, Takumi was absolutely hated for a crime that she didn't commit. It is in that case the story has somewhat of overlap with Yoshida. I think Yoshida is overall a stronger story. But but Takumi's story is still really well handled, and of course the medical aspect of it makes it different enough from the political aspect of Yoshida's story. So yeah, Takumi is overall a really fucking solid Confidant storyline. And then of course getting to because like now that Takumi doesn't have to deal with being accused of being such a horrible person, she gets to actually do what she wanted to do in the medical world, which is change lives, make others happy. Because the backstory
she definitely does
why she wanted to be a doctor too is really well handled. And Takumi's Confidant is really good, like really good. Gameplay applications.
This is an interesting one.
The only one I think is particularly good is the discount, because some of the really good items are very expensive.
Yes, I think some of them are like 250k.
Yeah,
it's the revive all your teammates to full HP. That's like 250k, I think. And then even just reviving, I think it's like your party to 50% is like 50k or 100k, something like that.
Yeah.
So the discounts do very much help.
Like I think
like 50% off at rank 7 is amazing.
Oh, for
sure. Yeah, I mean the items are great.
Yeah, like they're very useful. Takumi is a much better Confidant than vanilla because you aren't given a shitload of insanely useful items immediately when you start the game.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing that's crazy with Royal. You just given so many HP and SP restoring items as soon as the game starts in Royal. Which makes characters who specialize in stuff like that, like Sojiro and Takumi, inherently less useful. But Takumi is still a good Confidant. Yeah,
I think an annoying thing is her accessories that she sells are kind of mid. They are outclassed by a lot of the Will Seed items.
Yeah.
So that gets a bit annoying. So it's really just her healing items that are particularly useful. But they're good. I mean, it's hard to rank her.
I'd say she's somewhere in B tier, probably.
I'd say B tier, yeah. I think she's above Morgana.
Yeah, that's actually what I was going to propose as well.
Yeah.
So, and now we get on to Kawamami. I wasn't expecting you to laugh at that one. Because that's like the community joke. Comedically this is a very solid Confidant as well.
Yes.
The idea of your teacher in a maid suit is inherently so fucking stupid that you can't help but laugh.
Oh, of course.
And then, this is by far my favorite introduction to a Confidant in the game. Operation Maid Watch is one of the best scenes in the entire game.
The name of it's amazing. The fact that happens in fucking Ryuji's house is amazing. And fucking Ryuji and Mishima pussies who hide in the fucking closet.
And like, that's in character for both of them to do as well.
Yeah. They're the time to be like, yeah, we should do this. They're the one who keeps saying, we've got to do this. And like, okay, we're gonna hide. You do your thing, man.
Yeah, and then my favorite thing too is that when Kawakami asks you what you are, you can respond, I'm a dad.
Yeah, and the fact that when she enters, Joker is turned around. He's not facing her, and she's doing the entire maid thing. And then she's like, "Wait a minute, Who are you? And she's like, you better not tell a single soul about what's just happened.
Yeah, and like the story itself is fucking tragic. How
Yes.
she tried to be such a good teacher
so
for a struggling student, and then the fucking asshole guardians of that student that didn't give a shit about him use her for as much money as possible, to the point where Kawakami is having to resort to all these different extra jobs, extremely straining and degrading jobs at that, in order to pay her bills, in order to pay them back because of the guilt that she feels, because she thinks that she was responsible for her student's death when that wasn't the case. It's such a sad story, and being able to get her to stand up to that is so satisfying. This is, like, Mementos quest-wise, for all of these, this is by far my favorite of those.
Also, I just want to say, it's great how it's not just one thing where, like, oh, I'm not going to stand up to this, and then everything gets better. She tries to do that at first, but then she slumps back down. But by the end of the Confidant line, she does end up really standing up for herself, and it takes her to be in hospital, to put herself in hospital because of it, but she still pulls through, and she ends up not having to do all that shit anymore, having to do all these extra jobs. And the thing as well, this was so unexpected. You don't expect your teacher is your maid, and then it ends up being as deep as that. It was so unexpected.
Yeah.
Because I didn't actually bother with her Confidant. I don't think I even started it in my first playthrough, or my second. And I regret it so much now, because it was such a good Confidant.
Yeah. Like, the thing with this Confidant, too, is that you hear the premise, teacher in a maid costume, and you think it's a fucking joke. And no, it's one of the deepest stories in the entire game.
Yeah. Exactly.
This is a really good storyline. Despite that, I think I could only really put it as high as A tier.
Yeah.
I agree. I think I actually like it more than EY's.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely.
Yeah.
It's very close to being S tier, but I think it deserves A tier.
Mm-hmm. Like, the main thing that keeps it out of S tier is that whenever I'm playing the game, this is the one Confidant where I absolutely do not want my parents walking into it.
Oh, for sure. I'm gonna get that alt tab ready.
Yeah. But, in terms of benefits, easy S tier. Like, done. Yeah. The massage alone is S tier, and then LeBlanc curry making is really good as well. When you get to rank 9, I believe, that's when all of her benefits become free. And by that point, you have no reason not to have her make curry and coffee every day.
Yeah,
and then, of course, skipping time in class is amazing, gives you an excuse to read through your books.
Yeah, one of the things about Persona is the biggest restriction you have in the entire game, you have two things, and they're related. Time and school. Kawakami helps with both of those. You're allowed to do stuff in school, like making tools in class, infiltration tools for you, and you can make them in class, which is one thing that is the most annoying thing to do outside the Confidant, because it takes up an entire slot just to make 6 tools. And you can do that in class. Then after you've come back from the metaverse, you can do whatever you want, which ends up being a massive restriction most of the time. If story events happen, you can still go out and do your stuff, which gives you so much more time than you think about at first. But
wait,
you get
can
so
do it
much
even during
time.
Story event days?
I think some of them you can. I'm not sure though.
Okay, I thought it was only metaverse. In that case, I wasn't using this
actually,
well enough.
I might be wrong. I might be wrong. I think it's just metaverse.
I'll
but like sometimes you go into the metaverse for like 5 seconds, and then you come out and you still can't do anything. But Kawakami helps with that.
Oh shit!
So it is great.
So like on days where like Morgana tried to run you over.
Yeah. I think you can. Yeah, she helps you with that. So Kawakami's Confidant's fucking amazing.
Yeah, I honestly think it's a contender for best in the game.
I'd say second best.
All right. Yeah, I mean,
Arcana Burst, Third Eye, and more
Yeah, I mean, I
slots
think by
are just too
default,
busted.
Igor's kind of the best.
Yeah.
No one really talks about it either, because since it's a story confidant, everyone takes for granted how broken his abilities are.
Yeah.
But I mean, in terms of like daily life stuff, Kawakami is easily the best.
Yeah. I mean, the thing that makes Igor even better is you don't have to put any time into his confidant.
Yeah. And then Oya D tier.
Yeah.
Okay, she's better than Lavenza because there's at least a plot, but
yeah. But in terms of perks,
and in terms of perks, another D tier.
You can okay, so what she does is she decreases security level when you find a safe room. Then security levels less likely to it decreases during ambush. And your security level at the start of an infiltration is lowered twice, and then you can ambush regardless of security level. Absolutely useless.
Yeah.
It doesn't. Security level means jack shit. A lot of the time, I mean, if you're trying to go for treasure demons, it's simply worse for you. So, that's all I'm saying.
And like in general, the stealth mechanics in this game are ridiculously forgiving. All you need to do is get in cover, and then boom, no enemy can spot you. And it's not that hard to avoid enemies even when you're not in cover. I was actually under-leveled throughout my entire playthrough because of how ridiculously forgiving the stealth mechanics are. I just avoided most fights. And just
honestly,
and I resorted to mementos for my grinding.
Fair enough.
Because
so yeah,
I'm more of a story guy than a combat guy. So I think Oya's worse than Sojiro than gameplay wise.
Yeah, because I mean Sojiro doesn't. You can just choose to ignore everything. Technically, Oya does have a disadvantage.
And they tried to buff Oya, by the way. In vanilla, the security level starts at a 0. I believe it starts at like 20 or 40 in Royal. They did this consciously to try and buff Oya, and it still didn't work. Oya is still useless.
Yeah. Oya's still useless.
And then story-wise, I think she's also D tier.
Yeah.
It's just an extremely boring story, where everything about her backstory is told to you in a very bland and forgettable setting that doesn't change throughout the entire Confidant. The only part about the Confidant that I think is like good, but they still don't make enough use out of, is her interactions with Lala-chan, which are really fun.
Oh yeah.
But that's kind of the only real positive thing I can say. Oh yeah, another positive. I think rank 9 is the first time. If you do the Confidant fast enough, is the first time that Shido gets name dropped as an antagonist.
Is it? I don't know though. I don't bother with that shit until the end.
Yeah, I don't either. So like so that moment's never a bombshell to me because I already know that Shido's a piece of shit.
Yeah, and the thing is, with her thing, the concept behind her Confidant is great. It's good. It's a good concept in my opinion.
Like personality-wise,
the execution was absolutely dog shit.
Yeah. Because, like, her story is a good idea for a story. Her personality is a good idea for her personality. We love ourselves some drunk bitches.
Oh, God. Watch Boshi the Rock.
Indeed. Holy fucking shit. I fucking love Kikuri.
Yeah, anyway, we're talking about Persona.
Kikuri is my fucking wife, man. I need myself a chronically drunk girlfriend.
Oh, God. Anyway, back. But Oya doesn't do it well because, like, she's broke.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, so is Kikuri. She's where's Kikuri? Damn. There we go.
Yeah, she's just shitty Kikuri.
Yeah.
Watch Bochi the Rock, please. It's amazing. We should do a Bochi the Rock character tier list.
Yeah, all 6 characters.
Yeah, I gotta rewatch Bochi the Rock though. It's been too long.
It's been so long since I rewatched it. I watched it too much. Anyway.
Yeah.
Let's get back to Persona time.
Shinya is next. I think Shinya. He was the one Confidant outside of Makoto that I've never finished. I
liked his Confidant.
I do want to finish his Confidant though, because it ain't bad.
It's not bad. It's not incredible, but I liked it.
It's like a very. I think it's probably lowest to B tier.
Yeah.
or just above Chihaya? I'll let you have this opinion.
I'd say above Chihaya.
All right.
I like his story. He's just a kid, just doing kid things, and he learns how to be. He learns how to not be a piece of garbage, which is better than most kids out there.
Yeah, and like I actually wanted to complete Shinya too, because it's not like his story is bad. It's just you get introduced to him weirdly late into the game.
I know, it's so annoying how late he gets introduced.
Because you need Akihabara unlocked, and you don't unlock Akihabara until after Futaba's Palace.
Yeah, and then you need to go to Mementos at the start of the Confidant, and it just ends up being kind of annoying.
Yeah, because you need a Mementos request to even start from the start. So yeah, it's a very frustrating activation for a Confidant, similar to Chihaya in that way.
Yeah, you have to start the winners don't use cheats thing, then find Ryuji, who then finds Shinya. Then I think you have to go to him again just to start the Confidant.
Yeah. Like,
so it's really annoying to start, and it's also really late. So it's just kind of annoying. But like, the Confidant is good.
One of the best things for him is that he gives you a lot of kindness boosts. And yet, by the time that you need that, you probably have already maxed it out for Sojiro anyway.
They made kindness so annoying. They made it so hard to max out.
Yeah. Yeah. It was harder to max out in vanilla, by the way. You couldn't clean the blonde in
fucking hell.
In vanilla.
Like, yeah, they made kindness so hard to fucking max out in this game. Yet the one who gives a shit ton of kindness is all the way at the end of the game.
Yeah. And the two characters you need kindness for are characters that you're going to want to get that stat for as soon as you can. Well, I guess Honest technically one of them, but you're typically going to get level 2 kindness pretty quick anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But Futaba is a level 4 to even start it, and Sojiro is level 5 halfway through it, which is a very big barrier.
Yeah! So, it's annoying, in conclusion.
In terms of the story itself, I only made it halfway through, but what I can say so far is that I like how it's set up as to like how he is who he is. I think the last rank I got to was the one where he like stole some money from my kids or something.
Yeah.
Because and he was trying to get back since he's had a history of getting bullied for having just a mother and not a father. And the I can generally predict where the story arc's going to go from there, of him learning how to properly use a sense of justice and not use it for vengeful purposes, and find out what it truly means to be like a phantom thief. Which,
I love how he looks up to the Phantom Thief so much.
It's great.
It's so adorable. Like, they're like, can you get me... Do you think the Phantom Thieves would be like this? And he's like, you know the Phantom Thieves? And then you get Futaba to hack his phone and display the signal thing. I love it.
Yeah, it's great. Again, though, I honestly still think the Tower Arcana should have been Shiho, but...
Yeah!
But hey, Shinya ain't a bad Confidant. He's pretty good.
Yes.
Like, I personally prefer Chihaya, but since you actually finished him, I'm giving you dibs with
the actual no, he's a kid. You can't say that, bro. you can't make me look like that.
Fuck, I didn't catch on to that joke until way too long. But gameplay benefit-wise, he has a lot of benefits, but only they seem like a mixed level of usage.
Yeah, I mean, the bullet hail is pretty nice. You get some damage off.
Yeah, it's decent to have that free damage. You can't complain about it.
Down shots are nice. Getting what's it called? Being able to instantly down an enemy is great. But the main thing that's great is he can increase the success rate of an ailment gun, and we've already talked about how broken they are.
Yeah.
And his max level ability is allowing Joker's gun attacks to completely ignore resistances. So if they're immune, resistant,
That's
can
insane.
still hit them, which is really good because gun skills are really good. There's a lot of really good gun skills, and it ends up being something you can fall back on a lot, knowing that you can hit them for neutral damage. But once again, it's a bit late. That's the only annoying thing. It's really late to get all these abilities, so it's hard to use them a lot.
It makes the Confidant worse than it otherwise would be.
Yeah.
Again, I really hate how late Shinya gets introduced in the game.
Yeah. I'd say he's... I think I'd put him at top of B tier, but I think the lateness that he gets introduced makes him C tier. Honestly, he's so late. It's so hard to use his stuff well. You barely get to use it. Yeah.
Then next up is Hifumi. I really like Hifumi's Confidant.
Let's go! Let's go!
Yeah.
Let's go!
Like, yeah, I know Hifumi was the first character you romanced.
Yeah, and I don't regret any of it. Anyway,
Hifumi's a really good character. Currently I've romanced Haru and Sumire. I'd probably romance Futaba next, but after Futaba, I think I'd go Hifumi.
Fair enough. Well,
Hifumi's just such a likable character.
She is. I really like her.
Like,
only thing that's negative is the lack of interaction between Hifumi and Yusuke.
I really, really want to see more Hifumi and Yusuke. Like,
yeah.
The main reason why I kind of wish that Hifumi was a Phantom Thief instead of just a Confidant is so we can see Hifumi and Yusuke stuff.
I agree. I think if I wanted anyone in the game to be a Phantom Thief, it'd be Hifumi. And then Mishima, because it'd be so funny to see him as a Phantom Thief. Anyway.
Yo, Discord moderator turned Phantom Thief.
Isn't that what Futaba is?
Futaba and Mishima can be Discord moderators together.
Exactly. Anyway,
and then Hifumi's actual story itself it's good. Hifumi is someone who genuinely loves shogi. She wants to be like her father, who she looks up to, and yet her mother doesn't believe that Hifumi should love shogi genuinely. She believes that Hifumi should enjoy sort of like
being an idol,
the spotlight of shogi, the idolization that she receives from being a female shogi player, while Hifumi wants to be treated equally just like everyone else. She doesn't want to be idolized.
Yeah, I mean, she doesn't even notice until very late that all her matches were being complete setup by her mother to get her in the spotlight more, but she still continues, doesn't give up, and by the end she gets absolutely fucking destroyed. But she knows that this was fair and she's gonna carry on playing shogi and getting better for real this time. Even if people call her a fraud, she will still carry on, and I love that.
Yeah, it's a really well done story. And then personality wise, my favorite little quirk of Hifumi is how eccentric she is whenever she's playing shogi. Those things are adorable.
They really are.
Yeah, like Joker will do like the classic anime sweat mark thing whenever she does it. It's great.
The only negative? Why do you need knowledge level 5? Please!
There's like no logical explanation for that too. And the thing is that matters a lot because her rank 10 ability is a contender for best ability in the game. Yeah,
honestly, it's so annoying because knowledge, I looked this up, knowledge is the hardest, it takes the most points to max out knowledge.
It took me so fucking long to get the knowledge points.
It takes so long. But honestly, if we're going on to our abilities, S tier.
Oh, abilities are an easy S tier. I'd say better than Ryuji.
Definitely. Definitely.
I think there's an argument for better than Kawakami, but I don't know if I'd go that far myself. I wouldn't go that far.
I think
myself.
no, I wouldn't go that far because I think the benefits that Kawakami gets are like the outside of battle stuff matters so much more because battles are kind of easy. But you can't put Hifumi anywhere else because, I mean, being able to swap, being able to be so versatile and you're so free, you're allowed to swap whoever you want. So whenever you have what you think is a bad matchup, someone's running out of SP during a boss fight, you can just swap out and it's fucking amazing. I mean, admittedly, it is very annoying to have to sacrifice Joker's turn until level 10.
Yeah.
Until level 10, you have to use Joker's turn, which is really annoying because Joker's busted. Also,
useful.
Level 7, double money after an ambush is busted because it works with Ryuji's insta-kill. So if you win with an insta-kill, you get double money, so it's fucking busted for farming money.
Yeah.
And also level 9 is being able to escape no matter what. Even if you're ambushed or anything, you get to escape instantly.
Yeah, I abuse
not
that
even having to wait. You can.
and...
It's literally instant. You don't have to wait for any other party members to move. It's instant, which is fucking amazing if you're being ambushed or something like that.
Like I actually abused that a lot in Shido's Palace because Shido's Palace is boring. So
yeah,
just being able to spam that, oh fuck, it's a massive convenience.
Honestly, Hifumi's Confidant is so fucking good, and the fact that literally every ability she gets is really good boosts her even more.
And then we forgot to put her somewhere in the story tier list. I would say A tier myself.
I think she's A tier.
Yeah.
At the bottom. Actually,
I think she's better than Takumi.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a fair spot for Hifumi.
I think that's fair. Yeah.
And then
I tried to leave my best girl biases out. Anyway.
Mishima is so ridiculously overhated by the community, and I genuinely do not know why.
It's because, here's the thing, yeah? What they did is they saw Mishima, and they're like, this guy, he's weird, so I'm not gonna bother playing his Confidant. But anyone who actually played his Confidant will like this guy, because his Confidant's amazing!
Yeah, it's really well written. Like... Because the thing is too, like Mishima is everyone complains, oh, Mishima's Confidant is bad because Mishima is unlikable. I inherently dislike this line of thinking. It's actually a line of thinking I dislike so much that I've considered making an entire video dedicated to how misunderstood Mishima's Confidant is. Because yes, in the first few ranks, Mishima is unlikable, but that's the fucking point.
Yeah.
Like, the point of Mishima's Confidant is him becoming a more likable person. And unlike Suemitsu, who's more static, he gets compared to Suemitsu a lot since both are considered some of the worst confidants in the game. I agree that Suemitsu is one of the worst social links in the Persona series. Like, duh, I actually think it's probably the worst. But Mishima's social link is good because he actually develops, he actually changes.
Yeah.
He doesn't stay a selfish asshole for the entirety of it. He ends up And like here's the thing too, Mishima thinks that he had his heart changed. But the Phantom Thieves not changing his heart is what makes the story so good.
Oh, for sure. Because it's its own effort. It's not the Phantom Thieves. It's its own effort that made it so he turned into a lot better of a person instead of someone who was consumed by, I guess, the fame of the Phantom Thieves, which he isn't a part of. Yes, he did run the fan site, which he did spend a lot of time on that, but the fact that he tried to get way too involved and wanted to get involved himself and try to decide all this stuff, get the Phantom Thieves big and popular, and is annoying at first, but seeing him change is amazing. And before anyone says that he's an asshole, he's like bad because he tried to get the Phantom Thieves popular and all that. The Phantom Thieves did that themselves too during Okumura. They did that themselves, and so Mishima did the same thing, and he changed. I mean, he's great.
Because, like, the main flaw of Mishima is the fact that he is over-reliant on the Phantom Thieves, which is the same fear that Kasumi points out in Royal, which I think... one of my favorite scenes in the entire game is the conversation between Joker, Akechi, and Kasumi. One of my favorite scenes in all of Royal, because it adds so much to the game. And it's not even in vanilla, because Kasumi didn't exist yet. And like Kasumi's line, Kasumi's reason for disagreeing with the Phantom Thieves, you get to see it directly with Mishima, because Mishima is someone who is over-reliant and overly worshipping of the Phantom Thieves, so he doesn't allow himself to be to solve his own needs for himself. His character arc is centered around how, in order to actually be helpful toward the Phantom Thieves, in order to be a genuinely good friend to Joker and Ryuji, because that seems to be Mishima's friend group within the story. In order to actually contribute, in order to actually be helpful, he needs to realize that he needs to be a good. How do I say this?
He has to do shit on his own. He has to. I think his main thing is what he tried to do is he tried to solve all his problems through the Phantom Thieves. He has a friend that he's being a bit of an arsehole. Phantom Thieves, go get him.
Exactly.
Instead of trying to make change himself, because he needs to realize that he can do stuff himself. He doesn't need to have mythical powers that allow him to go into the metaverse to be able to change people. He could do that on his own, and he does.
And yet
he does it to himself.
And yet, despite that, Mishima is still understandable in his unlikability, because the trauma of being physically abused by Kamoshida is severe. Of course, after having to deal with someone like Kamoshida, someone who seems so invincible when it comes to what options he has. I mean, because Kamoshida is such an abusive piece of shit that he made Mishima leak Joker's criminal record, which is huge. And I've heard people complain, "Oh, fucking Mishima's spineless. He's an asshole for this." No, he's fucking not. If you were in the situation, you would do the same fucking shit.
Like, he's never met Joker. I mean, if the guy who was beating me up on a daily said, you see this guy you've never met, he's a criminal. Go spread that to people and I'll stop beating you for a bit. Everyone's doing that. Everyone's gonna start spreading it. He's normal. The thing about Mishima that's great is he's just a normal kid.
And like
I don't think people seem to get that. He's just a normal kid.
The criticisms of Mishima are so fucking batshit stupid. Like, genuinely fucking stupid.
Yeah, they have this, like, idealist mindset where everyone's a hero, everyone does the right thing, no one snitches, but when you're in that situation, you're gonna do it.
Yeah.
It's normal. I mean, I don't blame him at all. I mean, if you think about it, Shiho jumped, Ryuji managed to get the Phantom Thieves, but what did Mishima have? Mishima had this hellscape for over a year at this point. He felt Kamoshida was unbeatable, but the one thing that managed to stop Kamoshida was the Phantom Thief. So it makes sense he's gonna start relying on them, and he does change.
Yeah, he ends up realizing that in order to actually help the Phantom Thieves, he needs to do things for himself. He needs to make change on his own and not just solely rely on the Phantom Thieves for said change. And of course, he's still going to look up to the Phantom Thieves. Who wouldn't? And yet, his perspective on the Phantom Thieves turns from mindless worship into something genuinely good for himself. It's like, actually, after actually discussing it, I was gonna put Mishima's Confidant somewhere in B tier, but it's amazing. It's really well written.
It's amazing.
Like, I kept on gaslighting myself into thinking that, oh, it's not nearly as good as I thought it was, because of how much everyone hates Mishima's Confidant for no fucking reason. And yet Mishima's Confidant is amazing. It's somewhere in A tier. I could even maybe see an argument for S tier, which I would never say normally, but
it has to go at least the top of A tier, if not S tier, in my opinion. I'd say S tier personally.
Fuck
Bottom
it,
of
sure.
S tier. I'd say that.
I never thought. This is the hottest take in our entire video. This is great.
Oh, for sure.
The comments are gonna be so fucking angry at us.
Yeah.
And like,
And I love Mishima. He's great.
yeah, and I think another part of the reason why people are generally angry about Mishima too is that if you in the main story too, his development from the Confidant isn't really addressed because the main story can't assume that you've played as Confidant.
Yeah.
Which means that he's when it comes to main story stuff, he's kind of consistently seen as an annoying loser, which in my opinion is such a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
Because like Mishima at the end of his Confidant is a significantly better character than the Mishima of the main story that remains unchanging. Because granted, this is a Confidant tier list and not a main story tier list, which is the reason why I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt here.
Yeah.
Like, if I was considering the main story and the Confidant, I'd say he's probably closer to, like, low A tier, but...
Yeah.
And just a Confidant ranking? Fuck it, sure, S tier. And then gameplay benefits, another easy S tier.
S tier. Yeah, S tier.
EXP gain is broken.
You get increased EXP gain, busted. Then party members that aren't even fighting get XP, busted.
Yeah.
Then at level 10, backup members getting the exact same amount of XP, busted.
Yeah. I don't know how high I'd put this in S tier.
I think...
Either bottom or above Chihaya is what I'd say.
I'd say above Futaba.
Alright.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it goes to show how broken Confidant abilities are in this game when a majority of them are S tier.
Yeah, literally. And the thing is, you're normally meant to put a couple lower, but it feels wrong to put any of these below S tier, really.
Yeah,
it feels wrong.
I mean, in my opinion, I am against the idea of making tier lists that look pretty. You gotta put the characters where they belong, even if the tier list looks ugly as shit. Because like this tier list looks ugly as shit.
Imagine one of the characters that end up being S tier in both gameplay and storyline is fucking Mishima.
Yeah.
Go. Anyway.
I mean, Ryuji's also there.
Yeah, but I think we expected that. Mishima!
Yeah, like, Mishima? I was not expecting to put Mishima in S tier for the story tier list. I was for the benefits tier list, because, I mean, duh. But,
yeah.
I mean, even people who dislike Mishima play his Confidant just to get the EXP gains.
Oh, for sure.
Even if they just skip all the dialogue. And then Yoshida's next. I loved Yoshida's story. It's so good.
It was so good.
Yeah, because like it's a man who was I believe it turned out that he was falsely accused, but since Yoshida never knew that, he wanted to go through the path of redemption, becoming a better person, learning from all the mistakes he's made, because he has made mistakes. He wasn't a perfect angel. And just seeing him genuinely try to make a difference, go into politics because he cares and not because he wants to gain things from it, it's so well done. His story is so touching, so beautiful. In my opinion, it's the top of A tier.
Yeah, I mean, I think the way he looks towards young people is honestly amazing. I love it.
I wish more people his age would care about us young people more. All the fucking boomers in my country are over here not giving a single flying fuck about the Gen Zers who are just completely shit-fucked in this country. Enough of politics, though. I'm actually apolitical. I don't like boomers, though. It's mainly work experience, though, and less political stuff. Fucking hell, boomers are the most ungrateful pieces of shit when it comes to customer service jobs.
Yeah, but we love Yoshida.
Indeed. I think Yoshida's probably more of like a Gen Xer too, which is the funniest thing. I just say boomer, because anyone older than millennials is a boomer to me.
Yeah,
Because the Gen Xers and the Boomers are the same fucking shit. They don't want to call themselves the same shit, but they are the same shit.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So I'm looking up. So he got accused of embezzling because he took a vacation and missed a meeting. Anyway.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, do
Uh,
you have any other thoughts when it comes to the story itself?
no. I mean, I feel like there's not much to say. He's just a really good story.
Yeah, and do you agree with my placement?
Yes,
Alright.
definitely.
I'm glad that we are both Yoshida stans. This character's great.
Yeah. Well, see, he was the character that I really didn't expect to be such a good character,
He is
but he
the
was.
most unexpectedly great character outside
Yeah.
of Mishima, in my opinion.
Because I think his premise seems the most kind of boring, but it was really good.
Mm-hmm.
They proved me wrong.
Yeah, it's great shit. And then
But unfortunately, his abilities, I'm not gonna, they're kind of dog shit.
his abilities are not great because negotiations are already really easy. Getting more out of negotiations isn't amazing. In the early game, it's good for money grinding, but there are much better forms of money grinding.
You don't get too much money for that. And then his I mean, sometimes you get to skip negotiation. Negotiation's too easy for it to really matter.
Yeah.
And then his level 10 ability is really underwhelming, allowing you to form contracts with higher level shadows. It's kind of useless, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Because fusion exists, 1, 2, it's very easy to just by the time you get to the end of the palace, you can probably go back and you'll be at the right level to negotiate with the shadow. Otherwise, there's something wrong. So it ends up being very underwhelming. I'd honestly put him in D tier.
I don't think he's quite D tier level. I think he's...
Yeah, because his abilities aren't useless and they're not actively working against you.
Yeah, he's
they're
lowest
just
C tier.
useless.
I just don't really feel like making negotiations better is particularly useful.
Yeah, you don't get a lot of money from negotiation, and even with his level 3 ability giving you a large amount of money, it's not incredible.
Yeah, and like
it's not enough to warrant.
I think the funniest thing too is that the community, despite him gameplay wise being pretty comparable to Ouya, no one compares him to Ouya because unlike Ouya, his story is good enough to where people like will actually play the Confidant anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, goes to show how good writing can help you.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
Sai, she don't really have anything. It's progression, and she just kind of interrogates you.
I will say though, the interrogation is one of the coolest plot devices the story
definitely
uses to present itself.
Honestly, she is so fucking smart. Like she takes a look at your bag, and every single confidant on this list, apart from Igor and Lavender, because obviously, she's able to foresee, like, are you related to someone like this? She's spot on every single time. Yeah. When you start a confidant, you must have had someone do this. Did you have some sort of relationship with someone like that? Who is it? She's spot on every time.
Mm-hmm. The fact that you see Sai every single time that you start a confidant, I mean, the cutscenes themselves are kind of annoying, but it really does add on to the immersion of just how intelligent Sai is.
Yeah, and it helps you remember that everything's just a flashback, really. Mm-hmm. I kind of end up forgetting that until I get to the flashback.
Yeah, and like the interrogations themselves are a very good storytelling device. I say this is carried by how well it's presented as opposed to how good the story itself is, because the story itself is decent.
Technically, you can put like the entire thing at the end of her palace as part of her confidant, but just like with Akechi, it feels kind of wrong to put that there.
Yeah, Sai as a palace ruler and Sai as a confidant feel very different. Because Sai's palace shows who she is as a character. Sai's confidant shows the interrogation and not really who she is.
Yeah. We learn nothing about her, really.
Yeah. I think we put her A tier in the Palace Ruler tier list. I think she's more of a B tier in the Confidant tier list.
Mm-hmm. One thing that's annoying is that I'm pretty sure they planned a romance thing for her. I'm pretty sure they have romance lines for her. And I wish we could have, but anyway.
Yeah. After talking about it enough, I think she's actually bottom of B tier.
Yeah.
Again, she's much better as a palace ruler than a confidant. And then gameplay-wise, she's literally the only one that does nothing, so I guess D tier.
I mean, her level 10 ability is cooperating as comrade to fight for justice and seek truth. It's not really a fucking ability, is it?
It's not an ability. It's a hype-ass story moment, don't get me wrong, but it's not an ability.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But it's not an ability.
I'm surprised that there's more than one D tier
to be honest,
in this.
Actually, if you think about it, she's better than Oya.
Because Oya actively harms you.
At some point, Oya harms you. So, the one who does nothing is better than Oya.
It's kind of like how a Magikarp using Splash is better than literally anything using Rage in Gen 1.
Exactly.
Oh, shit.
And now we get on to...
And then Kasumi/Sumire.
Yes.
The Kasumi Confidant is kind of boring, honestly.
Yeah, because she's not herself. She's fake.
Yeah, because Kasumi's Confidant is Sumire pretending to be Kasumi, or at least trying to be Kasumi, and because of it, it feels artificial. I was wondering why that was the case too when I was playing Royal, but now that I know that was intentional, I'm like, holy shit, that's actually some pretty clever shit.
Yeah, because I did not like her at first. She was boring as fuck, and she felt very fake.
Yeah, she was forced into the plot too, because like I played vanilla before this, and Kasumi just, she felt so shoehorned. Like, what are they cooking with this character? They haven't done anything with her.
The thing where she volunteers to do the cleanup, that was the most fake thing ever. Because come on, let's be real, no one's ever doing that. Like, I don't care how much of an honest student you are, no one's volunteering to clean up garbage.
Yeah, because like
no school student, I should say.
Kasumi,
like during school time, nah.
Sumire's idea of who Kasumi is inherently flawed by the fact that Sumire sees Kasumi as sort of like a god that can do no wrong.
Yeah, she idolizes her.
And yet, when we get to see the far more flawed and vulnerable Sumire, that's when the confidant goes from just okay, a C tier, maybe even D tier, probably just a C tier, into one of the best confidants in the entire game.
Yeah.
Because, like, if you are playing through the third semester, you absolutely need to play Sumire's Confidant in order to get the full extent of Maruki's Palace. To get the full extent of
I still really want to do a romance route. I'm going to do that this playthrough, the playthrough that I'm on.
Because I romanced Sumire on
fucking hour of progress. Fucking pissed off. Anyway.
Because I romanced Sumire on my second playthrough. A, because she's cute, duh. But B,
yeah, she is very cute.
A very, very good design. But B, because this is the new royal character. They had to be cooking something interesting with her, and they were. Sumire, because personality-wise, Kasumi's boring.
Yes.
But Sumire is fucking adorable, making her...
He's more of an NPC than Mishima.
Genuinely.
Like, imagine if Futaba met Kasumi. Imagine.
Yeah. And, like, the best things with Sumi... one of my favorite scenes of Sumire involved, like, Joker saying something like overly romantic or some shit, and then she just gets all red and shit. It's so fucking adorable. Oh my god, it's fucking adorable.
I can't wait to do a romance.
Yeah, the romance is so worth it. I remember I saw before I finished the Confidant, I saw like a comic dub of what was it? Of Joker and Sumire marrying, and Sumire still getting all red and shit, despite the fact that they're married and have kids. That's in character.
The one meme that I've seen is it's Sumire, Akechi, and Joker, and it's Sumire saying about Akechi, "This is my boyfriend," about Akechi, and then saying, "This is my boyfriend's boyfriend, Joker."
Oh shit, we love the internet. And like
so
honestly, in the party member tier list we put Kasumi top of A tier. Well, Sumire top of A tier. We disallowed her S as a result of as a result of the Kasumi being a more boring character than Sumire. But honestly, I think I might go back on that and put her in S tier again, because at least compared to other confidants, she is. I think she belongs in S tier.
Fair enough. Yeah.
I even put her above Mishima.
I wouldn't, but I back you on that because, yeah, we can. I don't mind. That's cool.
I actually wouldn't say above Futaba myself, but
yeah.
But yeah, I feel like she barely gets herself into S tier.
Mm-hmm.
And then, ability-wise, she has standard party member abilities, of course, but the two ones she has are the one that allows you to get enemies from a distance, ambush enemies from a distance. I don't remember.
I love that.
Oh yeah, right, the dodge one as well.
And dodging, yeah, dodging ambushes.
Dodging ambushes is not amazing in my opinion because you rarely have to use it.
It does. It's nice when it happens, but it doesn't happen too much.
Mm-hmm.
But I really like the ambushing from a distance. It's really nice.
It's a huge convenience because it means that you don't have to wait nearly as long for an enemy to get close to you.
Yeah.
Granted, those aren't like amazing features. They're more like convenience features. I think she's a B tier.
Yeah, I think above Morgana.
Yeah, I'd say so too. And then Maruki. We put Maruki in S tier in the Palace Ruler tier list. Maruki is by far the best Palace Ruler. Hell, he's a contender for like one of the best parts about the entire game.
Yeah.
The Confidant's fine though. It's decent.
The Confidant's okay. It's kind of just him being a therapist.
Yeah, it's him being a therapist. There are some really good scenes. I think it was like rank 8 or 9 when he goes out to dinner with you. That is by far the best scene with Maruki.
I think that is rank. Let me see. Let me
I
try
don't
to
remember
find
what
it.
rank it is, but in my opinion, it's the best
I
rank
think
of
it
the
might
Confidant.
be rank. He's rank 9. Yeah, he's rank 9. Rank 9.
All right. Yeah, because that's my favorite one. Not only do you get introduced to a character who's going to become important for the palace later, but you also
Oh, sorry. Rank 8. Rank 8. That's
okay.
rank
So
8.
it is rank 8.
Yeah.
But you also get to learn about his backstory, the reason why he's doing this to begin with. And don't get me wrong, I think it's introduced too late for the Confidant itself to be amazing, but overall, I'm still glad that we get it before the palace.
Mm-hmm.
And the stuff with him being a therapist, it's fine. I would put it in. I would put his Confidant somewhere in B tier personally.
I don't know whether. I'll leave that up to you. Where in B tier you put
I honestly think bottom of B tier.
Yeah.
Feels weirdly harsh since Maruki is one of the best characters of the game, one of the highlights of the game.
Yeah, his Confidant is not very interesting.
The Confidant is nowhere near as good as the Palace.
Yeah.
Because like the story stuff regarding Maruki with the Palace is S tier shit, and the reason why is because it works so well with Sumire as well. But Sumire and Maruki don't really get paired up in the Confidant at all, which means that they aren't really able to play to their strengths as well.
Yeah.
And then gameplay benefits wise, I would argue that this is also S tier.
Yeah.
Detox and mindfulness are insanely broken.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's just very much helping the best party member.
Yeah.
A lot.
It makes it
the one
makes
who
the
will end up
balance even
using
more
the most
lopsided.
SP restores. The one who really matters if you get status restores.
Yeah.
Being able to receive, charge, and concentrate at the start of a battle, busted.
Yeah. Like, and yet despite how ridiculously broken these abilities are, I still think Maruki's kind of like low S tier.
Oh yeah, for sure. Low S tier, low S tier.
Probably the lowest in S tier. I can't really justify
Futaba.
I kind of think we need an S+ tier just for how... Because I think the top 3 are a step above.
Yeah, honestly, top 3 are S+.
Mm-hmm.
They're just a cut above the rest.
Yeah. Because, like, Igor, Kawakami, and Hifumi are just are so much more broken than the other S tiers that they deserve.
Because the other ones are very like the first 3 in S tier are for grinding really, and the last 2 are for a little bit of help in battle.
Mm-hmm.
But the first three, the S plus tier, fucking busted.
Yeah. And then I don't think we need an S plus unless.
No.
Yeah. Otherwise, it would just be Sojiro and no one else.
Yeah. We'll reserve the S plus tier for cheat skill when we do anime reviews.
Exactly.
We can save the flow.
Oh man, I'm excited for the anime season. Then we got some good shows coming out this season.
I need to get on my shit because I haven't been watching shit. I can't lie. I need to get on my shit.
And you were on vacation when the season started, so it makes sense.
Anyway.
But yeah, oh yeah, I forgot we always gotta do the cringe outro. But before the cringe outro, I had to remind everyone that I do indeed have a Patreon. I started actually plugging this in videos. I always forgot to before, but I'm making sure to do that now. I do have a Patreon. Still, even though it's been a few days, I don't have too many benefits that are gonna benefit viewers of this channel. However, there are a few, like the Discord server, Patreon roll call, and unlisted video access. But otherwise, there's not too much.
Discord's great. Trust me.
Oh, indeed. The Discord's amazing. And then, so I guess in this case, all I have left to do now is to thank my existing patrons, which are my Phantom tier patrons, Mystic Owl, Jesse, and Squizzy, and my Confidant tier patrons, Regimania, Plasma Energized, Eternum, and Ghoul. So yeah, thank you everyone who has supported me financially. It really does mean a lot. Including you, Plasma. Thank you for your patronage.
No, it's all good. The $100+ worth it all.
Yeah, you've given me a shitload of money.
Yeah, I make horrible financial decisions.
Oh shit! Genuinely though, thank you so much.
It's all good.
I mean, these videos are fun as fuck to make.
They really are.
Yeah, we'll be doing Persona 5 OST next, by the way, so prepare for that.
Yes.
So whenever both of us have the free time to do that, that's when we'll drop that.
Sure.
So yeah, now is cringe outro time.
Yeah.
Alright, gamers, I will see you gamers on another Gamer Day. Spy gamers.